Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today's topic is financial reporting in public sector. You can read more about this topic in textbook page 237. Research report by CIC in 1997 states that the financial condition of a government is its financial health as measured by sustainability, vulnerability, flexibility, looked at in the context of the overall economy and financial environment. Financial reporting for government involves reporting on a government's financial condition and its performance. Besides, it is an essential process of communicating of the financial information. It also provides accountability about government finance and how they use the resources that taxpayers entrusted them. In addition, financial reporting serves as an important instrument of accountability. Public sector organization is accountable to provide information to its respective stakeholders. Malaysia government is fully aware of the need to improve the financial reporting and accountability of its public sector agencies, such as strengthening the control system, improvement of the financial management infrastructure, improving the effectiveness of financial management, and also new programs have been continuously developed. The next subtopic is regulatory frameworks and procedures. The main purpose of financial reporting is to demonstrate compliance with legal and contractual provisions where it will improve accounting and reporting practices of these entities. Public sector agencies are required to disclose their resources and obligations to the users. Financial reporting generally enforce the provision of Federal Constitution, Financial Procedure Act 1957, Government Accounting Standard, Treasury Instruction, Treasury Circular, and International Public Sector Accounting Standard. Article 99/4 of Federal Constitution states that assets and liabilities of the Federation should be shown at the end of the last completed financial year. Section 16/1 of Financial Procedure Act 1957 states that financial authority shall, for the purpose of Section 9 of the Audit Act 1957, after the end of every financial year, prepare a statement of consolidated revenue account, a statement of consolidated loan account, a statement of consolidated trust account, a statement trust account for any trust fund under Section 10 of the Financial Procedure Act 1957, a statement of assets and liabilities, and any related statements. Treasury Circular No. 4/2007 to replace Treasury Circular No. 50/1994. It states that guidelines for the preparation and presentation of the annual reports and financial statements of statutory bodies starting the financial year 2007. The purpose is to identify minimum disclosure requirements in the annual report and to inform on the accounting standards that should be accepted by the federal statutory bodies. Objective of the circular is enhance public accountability by timely preparation and submission of financial report and activity report, facilitate understanding of statutory bodies, establish uniform accounting standards, enhance accounting quality of the financial report, increase level of corporate governance, provide clear and complete information to Cabinet, Parliament, and other relevant bodies. The next subtopic is legal requirement and procedures. The Government Accounting Standard No. 1 states the guidelines to standardize the government accounting procedures involve the principles-based convention, rules and regulation in the preparation and presentation of financial statement. Government Accounting Standard No. 2 provides guidelines in the presentation of financial statements by the federal and state government. And in the International Public Sector Accounting Standard, it provides the guidelines set by the IPSASB, which is to develop accounting standards and promote the acceptance of the international convergence to IPSAS for the public sector.
I will continue the presentation. Goal: to provide financial information useful for making economic, political and social decisions and demonstrating accountability and stewardship, and information useful for evaluating managerial and organization performance. That's the meaning of the goal. Next, there is the objective of financial reporting. The first one is the compliance and stewardship. The second one is the basis of planning. The third one is the performance evaluation. And the fourth one is the quality of service. The next is the statement of the achievement. And the last one is fact and figures. Let's take a look in the difference between public sector and private sector. Definition of the public sector: deal with the entity established under the government and regulate under the Federal Constitution, FPA 1957, Government Accounting Standard and Treasury Instruction. The definition of private sector encompasses form of business organization established under the CA 1965, revised 1973, as a separate legal entity and required to comply with the provision of the Acts. Next is the objective of the public sector and the private sector. The objective of public sector is to meet legislative requirement and to serve the public through social commitment. Next is the objective of the private sector: to maintain capital, profit motivated, to distribute profit to owner, and to retain part of the profit for growth. Next is the accounting concept in the public sector and private sector. The first one concept is entity. Entity in the public sector apply to each fund, not to the organization as a whole. In the private sector is the relate to the whole organization. The next concept is periodicity. In the public sector, related to the flow of the fund during budgetary period and budget comparison until 31/1 of the following year. For the private sector, it relate to the income determination, generally for 12-month period. Next concept is matching. In the public sector is the allocation received is compared with actual expenditure. In the private sector is the revenue is matching with expenses to get the new income. The next concept is going concern. For the public sector, not applicable in government. In government, budget lasts for 1 year only. The going concern for private sector is entity are assumed to be going concern and continue to do so in the foreseeable future. The last accounting concept is accrual. Accrual in the public sector is to provide a comprehensive view of government asset and liability. In the private sector, an accounting method that measure the performance and position of a company by recognizing economic event regardless of when cash transaction occur.
So now I will continue Federal Government Financial Statement. You can refer textbook page 241. Federal Government of Malaysia prepared annually by the Accountant General for the Minister of Finance with Section 16 Clause 1 of FPA 1957, Government Accounting Standards and IPSAS Financial Reporting under Cash Basis of Accounting. Audit by the Auditor General as required by Audit Act 1957 before being tabled in Parliament in compliance with Section 16 Clause 2 of FPA 1957. The preparation of federal government financial statements is to show the financial position, cash flow and financial performance. It will report all the financial transactions of the government for a financial year and accounts for the source and applications of financial resource as appropriate by Parliament. The presentation is in line with accounting best practice to facilitate understanding and users' analysis of financial statement. Next is the federal government financial statement versus company accounts. Financial statement provide a picture of the resource entrusted, how the resources were employed during the year and in what form the resources are now held. It will emphasize on producing verifiable statements of income and expenditure, balance sheet and cash flow. Next, you can see the table, the differences between federal government and public companies, content of financial statement. You can refer
textbook page 242, table 10.2.
Okay, now I want to continue the presentation about presentation of federal government financial statement. So the main component is the statement by the Treasury to the Secretary General and Accountant General. So the statement of financial position regarding of public monies, which is cash and investment, and also consolidated funds such as consolidated revenue account, consolidated loan account, and consolidated trust account. The other main component is such as statement of cash receipt and payment, statement of financial performance, statement of memorandum account, which consists of memorandum of assets, recover loan, investment, or memorandum of liabilities such as public debts and other liabilities, and also notes to the financial statement. You all can refer in the textbook at page 244 until 250. So the user of public account, according to GASB 1984, state that financial reporting also help to satisfy the needs of users who have limited authority, ability or resources to obtain information, and who therefore rely on the report as an important source of information. For that purpose, financial reporting objectives should consider the needs of a user and the decision they make. Okay, so the user and the potential use of this information is related with the public, member of legislative and other governing bodies, public taxpayer, media and other communicators, external users, others government agency and resources provided, government manager and senior manager. You all can refer at the table at 10.3 at page 253. Okay, now the primary user of the public sector financial information in Malaysia, the first one is legislator. Legislator, the financial statement provided information on the impact and the achievement of the nation to bring about social and economic development and harmony in this society. This information is crucial to the legislator as they are involved in approving the budget as well as implementing new taxes. Okay, next is government manager and executive. They formulate the various plan, program, activities and projects for the implementation at various levels in line with the government objective. This information will help them to make decisions and evaluate the successful implementation of various programs and activities by the government toward achieving various government objectives. Okay, next, the other users such is government auditor and oversight communities. They are responsible to ensure that public money are properly spent. Besides that, they are also accountable to check the level of compliance with government's rules, regulation and policies. Okay, next is taxpayer. They pay various taxes thus they require information on the sources and use of the government resources. Okay, next in investor and vendor. Investor main objective is to achieve their investment goal. Information from the public sector accounting will help them to make decisions relating to business risks and opportunities in government projects and contracts. Okay, the last two is employee and voter. Being the backbone of the government, employees are interested on the information about their salary structure and the strength of the department they work for. Meanwhile, voters who are the decision maker of the ruling government would like to the government to perform effective and efficiency in their duties. Okay, the last one is non-government organisation, NGO. In the Malaysia, NGO take care special interest group. They need information on the impact of the government policy and certain sector of the society. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you for listening and see you tomorrow.